This is incredible northern Greece. Epirus. Kalimera, good morning. I am not on the Greek islands anymore. This is Odessa, Greece, not to be confused with Odessa, Ukraine. Today is May 15th, a Wednesday, 2024. It is currently 55 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 13 degrees Celsius. A little chilly. It was raining last night, so yesterday, I caught a flight from Skiros Island to Thessaloniki, direct, about 45 minutes. It cost $100 US. And then at the airport, rented a car. Got it right here. Parked up on the curb in the Greek style. 40 euros per day. That is $43, and that is the final price. Good deal. So one of the things to see here in Odessa is the waterfalls and the open air water museum. Also, we have here Church of the Coamisus, 14th century. The old Metropolitan Cathedral of Odessa stands at the edge of the rocky plateau. The original Byzantine church, dedicated to Christ, the Word and Wisdom of God, was built in the 14th century and underwent repairs, additions, and conversions in the 19th century. Okay, looks like it's wide open. Wow. Dark, so I'm sure that you can't see very well, but frescoes all over it with lots of marks that look kind of intentional, so you can't help but wonder if that was a matter of destroying them, most likely in that case by the Ottomans. That is pure conjecture, but that is the kind of stuff that they did when the Ottoman Turks took over Greece. Yeah, like, look at this. I mean, that is just so blatantly, big chips in the painting. So sad. So I didn't even know about this church. I parked my car there. My hotel is a few blocks up the street. I'd seen the other church there when I was looking for a parking space, and so was planning to show it in the video. And then just as I walked to that church, I saw the sign for the other one. So this is a total surprise, and it is really, really remarkable. I mean, the frescoes cover almost all of the walls, and it is, just so historic. Byzantine era, before the Ottomans conquered Constantinople in 1453. This is 14th century, so 1300s. Such a shame what was done to these just beautiful and such unique paintings. Wow, really one of the most interesting old churches I've been in, despite the damage. Oh wow, look at these carvings. I hadn't looked closely. Like a ram, I guess, and some kind of bird, eagle-like. Wow. So this is just the very, very beginning of what should be a truly epic journey through the mountains of northern Greece. So Edessa is just the departure point, basically. I'm going to walk over to the waterfalls, show them, and then hop in the car and get rolling and head next for Castoria. But in the process, we'll see a bit of old Greece here. Walking through this old town, obviously, which is all kind of a surprise to me. Just discovering it right now. Here we have another church, 14th century once again, but smaller. Church of the Holy Apostles Peter and Paul. Is this one going to be open? Nope. Okay, maybe this will work. Wow, really, really interesting. I mean, we're basically, whoa. Okay, I'd seen this cathedral on the other side and was thinking of showing it as well. I mean, we're basically walking through a medieval Byzantine city by the looks of it. This church, I'm assuming it's the cathedral, clearly much more recent. But built in a somewhat similar older style. But just looking at how nice the stones are, it's got to be a lot more recent. What do we have here? The Verosa of Edessa, on the edge of the modern city, overlooking the fertile plain of central Macedonia. Edessa's Verosi district is bounded by the brow of the cliff, the waterfall park, and 3 riverside roads. This area corresponds roughly to the site occupied by the prehistoric farming village that in the 4th century BC began to develop into the Acropolis of Edessa, a city of considerable importance in ancient Macedonia. So, 4th century, Alexander the Great, the time that he was alive. With the gradual abandonment of the lower city during the Byzantine period, the ancient citadel became what has been described as the god-guarded fortress of Vodena. After the Ottoman conquest, so there we have some dates. Oh, 1385 or 1389. So I didn't realize that the Ottomans conquered this area before they conquered Constantinople in 1453. And particularly after the liberation of northern Greece in 1912, so that recently, only just over a century ago, Edessa slowly expanded and step by step assumed its present form. In the Ottoman era, the heart of the city was its principal Greek quarter known as Verosi. In 1944, towards the end of the Second World War, the southern part of the district was destroyed by fire and rebuilt. Wow, a lot of history in this area. Okay, we'll find out from them. Is it open? Nope. Maybe the front entrance. So let's wander around this way. So this is actually starting out more interesting than I had anticipated, because I was just headed for the waterfalls. This one has frescoes as well, so how old is this church? Oh man, I was not expecting it to have all of these frescoes covering all of the walls. You get the sense that it is kind of a recreation of the old one, obviously in a much grander, larger style. But since they couldn't, redo that one and repaint the frescoes, that maybe they said, okay, we're starting from scratch and then doing it bigger and better. Because it is not common that you see good churches all covered in frescoes like this. Can't believe I have it all to myself. Man, just every inch. It's kind of a shame that it's too dark to see them well, but hopefully you can get the sense. Just incredible. Jesus on the ceiling there. Waterfalls, Mill of Flavors, Reptile Aquarium, Morosi House. Man, look at that sight. It almost doesn't feel like we're in Greece now. It's probably an especially strong flow because it is May. Whoa. Okay. So I guess all of that is the waterfall park. Edessa waterfalls are the largest in the Balkans and the only ones in Europe that are located within an urban area. They are considered to be the most dominant element at the edge of the rock, where, as the great author Menelaus Lodemus wrote, there is a step that God uses to ascend to the sky. We have a musical kids group going on here. Karanos Waterfall, height 70 meters, is named after the first Macedonian king, founder of Edessa. Wow! It is impressive because of its size and because of the river water's momentum. Stories about the first Macedonian king, Karanos, the king of Macedonia, Philip II, his successor, Alexander the Great, king of the Macedonians, and many others, all referenced these waterfalls. Amazing. And here we have the Cave of Waterfalls. Okay, what is this going to be? I guess it goes behind it. Oh, okay, here we have a ticket booth. Hello. So just €1 to enter the cave. Wow. These are some major stalagmites and stalactites. I guess maybe, they're created quicker here, I would imagine, with all of this water. Man, this kind of seems almost like fake. It's so just jam-packed with the formations. A river or stream rather, flowing down the steps, and then the end of the steps and the end of the path here. All right, well this really blew away expectations. A lot of surprises already, and the trip is just barely getting started. Okay, there is more to explore here by the looks of it. Other paths going down there into the trees, but I have distance to cover today. I don't have a hotel reserved for tonight, so I don't know where I will end up, but I know what direction I'm heading in and want to make some serious progress. So let's get back into town, go find something for breakfast, some pastries, something quick I can grab, and then get rolling. All right, so I'll show you what I got at that bakery right there. Interesting pretzel sort of a thing. And then a cheese pie and a couple of like sort of granola bar looking things, all for 470 euros. That is about $5 US. And I'm going to just show a little bit more of the town here. It is very lively. What a change from the ghost towns of the Greek islands. It's a pretty interesting city. So this definitely turned out to be a great suggestion. Stopping through Odessa. Getting a very different impression of Greece. The real local life. It is alive and happening. This town is such a jumbled mix of history. Okay, let's finally get on the road. So look at this. Tirana, Skopje. Tirana, capital of Albania. Skopje, capital of North Macedonia. The borders are very, very close here. Look at how ridiculously
turn right onto Adnikiotos
green it is.
E86.
Unreal. Not sure what this town is, but I will be going through lots of little towns along the way as we head for Kastoria, another mountain town that was highly recommended, set on a lake. And so I wanted to mention that this is not my first time in this part of Greece. Now, I have no idea if I was down the same road here, but way back in 1990 when I was 18, years old on my first trip abroad to Europe for the summer. Then I came to Greece for a month as part of that 4-month trip. I came over from Italy, ferry to Corfu, then ferry to the mainland, Athens, and then ferry to Santorini. It was a complete accident that I ended up on Santorini Island. The only reason is because that was the last island that the ferry was going to. And I tell that story in more detail in my book, Following My Thumb. But after Santorini, came back to the mainland, traveled around the Peloponnese, went to Meteora, climbed Mount Olympus, went to Thessaloniki, and then that was the end of the trip. And I wanted to move on and see other countries of Europe. And so from Thessaloniki, I was seriously considering traveling through Yugoslavia to get back to Central Europe, to like Austria, Germany, etc. Some town names here: Karasia, Karidia, Nissi. Because at the time, Yugoslavia was still Yugoslavia, not the, 6 or 7 countries that it broke into. Depends on whether you include Kosovo. But anyways, I have a very vague recollection. It was probably when I was in Thessaloniki. You know, no internet, so I'm not sure how I was doing my research, but it might have been just looking through my book. Yes, so I had a book, Let's Go Europe. I have no idea if it would have included Yugoslavia in it. It was a guidebook for all of Europe, but certainly not every single country. I mean, the Soviet Union still existed. It was just about to fall apart. But so for one thing, I knew that my Eurail pass did not work for Yugoslavia, and that might have been the main reason I didn't go for it, because I was on a just razor thin budget on that trip. And also it was just such a big unknown. I was considering hitchhiking through Yugoslavia, but, you know, in considering it was just like, does this make any sense? Is this, smart or whatever? And so I decided not to do that. So instead I caught a bus from Thessaloniki across northwestern Greece here, and then I guess I probably ended up at Igoumenitsa, which is where I caught a ferry a few years ago over to Paxos, a little island just south of Corfu. But from Igoumenitsa you can go to Corfu. I think that because I had already been to Corfu, man, look at these green fields. Unreal. Since I had stopped at Corfu on my way to Greece, then I think I probably just caught a ferry from Igoumenitsa straight to Italy and continued my journey up into Central Europe from there. But I remember that bus ride as being just beautiful, going through all these little villages that look just so interesting, and wishing that I could just hop off the bus and explore these little towns. So in a way I'm kind of redoing that, because now I can stop and explore the little towns, which is exactly the plan. So I'm not sure what this town is called. Very interesting. This drive hasn't been quite what I expected because it has been a lot of just kind of long distances through big fields and valleys without going through many actual towns. This is really the first proper town that I have driven through in about an hour of driving. Not sure if that is accurate, probably about 1:10. That's right, 15:05, 15th of May, 11 degrees Celsius, and raining now, 13:28. So 1:28, that says like 1:10, so maybe one of them is correct. So the drive that I was describing on the bus way back in 1990 was different to my recollection. More windy roads. This has been like straight, long straight stretches of roads. This was more winding roads and going through a lot of really picturesque little villages along the way. So I think that was a different route. Also, I saw a sign for Igoumenitsa, as I mentioned. That is the ferry port going to Corfu and then to Italy. And so there was a sign pointing towards Igoumenitsa in a different direction. So I think that is a different way. And I might end up coming back that way when I return, because the ultimate plan, so first, the plan right now is to get to Castoria, which looks really nice. Unfortunately, it's not going to be so nice in the rain. I checked the weather forecast this morning, and it was showing it cloudy, not raining, and then raining tomorrow. So I was thinking, that looked like fairly good news, but not looking good for now. And then after that, the plan is Vikos Gorge. I have wanted to go there for a very long time. It is like the Grand Canyon of Greece. Should be these amazing epic views, but not if it's going to be all overcast and rainy. And I was thinking of making it there today, so this trip might get a little messed up as a result of that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in that case. If I will stop and wait for tomorrow, but I could always stop in Castoria and stay there for the night and wait for tomorrow, see if it's a little bit better forecast. But the forecast is looking worse tomorrow, so that probably doesn't make sense. So it might just be a matter of getting to Vikos Gorge and then see what we can see and keep on cruising, because ultimately I want to get to Parga. It is over on the Ionian Sea on the mainland of Greece and looks absolutely gorgeous. And I checked the forecast there and it was showing nice and sunny, like 80 degrees, warm, sunny weather. So it might just be a matter of getting through the mountains, unfortunately not getting the best experience of them, and then get to the sunnier weather over on the other side of Greece. So let's keep making some progress. So as I've been driving along, I've been seeing lots of the brown and yellow signs for various archaeological sites, which I have been resisting stopping just so I don't get too slowed down. But finally I decided to stop at one. It's called Despilio. Looks like this is the ticket counter. So I think that means 5600 BC. So this is really, really old. Neolithic settlement excavations. It was €5 for the entry fee. And then I guess you walk a little bit. So it looks like a really pleasant walk. And then obviously these are like recreations, I guess, of what the old buildings might have been. Or maybe there's something left over from the old civilization. The lake settlements and Despilio. Lake settlements in northern Greece are mentioned in Herodotus, but have remained unknown in archaeological research. Their existence was recognized only in 1992. The phenomenon of lake or lakeside settlements has been known since the 19th century, when it was found that prehistoric populations in the Alpine region of Switzerland and Germany chose to settle in these special lakeside environments. The first Neolithic communities of farmers and stock breeders in Greece appear around 6600 BC. Wow. So I'm not clear what here is some sort of remains from that era. Obviously not the thatched roofs. Seems unlikely even that these could be left over from then. So maybe this is all a recreation based on something that was discovered. Okay, I guess this is it. It doesn't go any further. Wow, very cool. You can go right inside. The simple life. Look at this, they have furs. So maybe these are some of the items that they found here, and that is the evidence of the settlement. Bowls, etc. That would make sense, you know. Some sort of smaller items, and so they concluded, okay, there was a village here, and then built this little replica lakeside cluster of homes. Oh, I thought that was an actual person for a second. Very interesting. I've seen a lot of old Greek history, but not quite this old. Okay. Right there, I think, is Castoria. Let's get over there. We are lucking out with the weather. Looking much better.